what we'll do is I'll take notes of all the ideas on the board, and when we finish, you can take a photo of the board.
Okay.
So that way you have a record or something like that. Awesome. So tell us one more time, what is your business about, and what is it most that you like to change? Obviously, everyone's ideas. I want to grow my business more. What are some ideas? But in your own words.
Okay. So my current line of business is in professional development and training for allied health and people in the social welfare sector. So it's based on, I guess, advancing their leadership skills and expanding their current knowledge. So I've focused that on senior professionals. So they haven't perhaps gone up into management roles, but they're wanting to still continue learning about their sector, about how to engage more clients and to be more effective.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got only one service at the moment, which is the mentoring.
Yeah. So our mentoring service.
Yeah, which is group mentoring.
Yeah, group. Yeah.
And basically, where I'm at now is I'm looking at follow-on services that I can offer from that.
So you'd like us to come up with ideas for your business, so you have more alternatives for.
That's the only option.
And your mentoring, group mentoring service, is that a series of workshops or is it?
So 5 week.
5 week.
Yeah, 5 week. It's over the phone. They get a workbook to go through practical exercises and to ask questions.
And where are you pricing this service?
At $247, that's the introductory price, and then after a few, or one or two, it will be the $397 price point.
What do you mean after a few?
This is it's an introductory rate that I'm offering.
So once you've got established yourself and gained the testimonials and all that, you're planning on increasing your price to $397. Okay. And have you got a website yet?
Yes.
Yep. And it's focused on these things as well?
Not quite.
Something is very broad. Okay. Well, you want to focus on this particular business and grow that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll start off. The first suggestion is obviously to build a sales funnel within your business. So do you guys know what a sales funnel is? Some of you are nodding and some of you maybe are unfamiliar. So a sales funnel, so at the moment you've got one thing that you offer, maybe that's somewhere in the mid-range. So usually when people come into our sales funnel, they either come in for free or something low cost, generally for free. They've converted something on the website, and this is where we start our relationship with people. And as we build a relationship and add value to our clients, perhaps we might offer them something like an ebook for $19.95, or my start of my sales funnel is free, and then the next thing I would offer is a book. So ebook or a book. Because your business is educationally focused, isn't it? So really it's about taking the client through the educational spectrum. So initially they don't know what they don't know, or they don't know how aware of the problem, and it's your job through language, like Matthew said, is to take them through this process where they know they have a problem and they're starting to look for solutions, and hopefully you'll be there at the time when they're also ready to purchase. So you've got a mid-range program there, and then the bottom of the sales funnel is generally your most expensive offerings, okay? So it's maybe you one-on-one, okay? So $300 an hour or whatever that is. And so what I would like to see, and this is my suggestion, is to think about how you can construct something like this so that people have somewhere to go. Because what happens once they finish this, and they love what they do with you, wouldn't they like to take the next step? For example, the author weekend I just hosted, we finished it and everyone loved it, and then they started saying to me, "You're going to license this so we can buy a license of you?" And I didn't plan, but that would be the next step into my sales funnel where they come to. So really, it organically happened. Does that make sense? So I would want to see you design some other bits within your programs. Okay, let's open it up to the floor for ideas.
Monica, I've got to be really, really honest with you. Do you mind?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. You've just explained to us the second time of what you do, and I still don't know what the hell you do. Okay. And I'm sure I'm listening to you, but I don't hear what you're saying. What I think is missing from what you're saying is there's no why in there. Why should people contact you? So therefore, you're missing out on referrals. You're missing out on people who'd be interested in what you do, but we don't know what you do. So what I think you should do is I call it the pep talk, which is peak elevator pitch, which means that if you can explain what you do to somebody in a lift before they get to where they're going and get out of the lift, and they get you, and not only do they get you, they ask for your card, you've got it right.
Yeah.
So it must be one sentence, I think somebody said it before, it must be one sentence that you can pile it all into, or articulate exactly what you do. And talk about the problem, what do allied professionals, what do they look like? Allied health professionals, are they chiropractors and, okay. So what I think you should do is say something like, well, what I do you know how chiropractors, they have trouble engaging with their customers, especially with their clients, especially when they're new and they don't have their own location and all these sort of things, whatever it is. Well, what I do is I help them connect with their target market or their patients so that they see how there's this transfer of trust or whatever, the feeling stuff, and then they understand what you do. So therefore, if I heard you say that, and I then run into somebody the next day, next week, or whatever, and they say, oh, yeah, I'm a chiropractor, and I'm having really trouble connecting with my clients, I'll think of you straight away, and I'll ring up now, and I'm going to contact with you. See how that works?
So,
I think you should be very, very clear on what the hell you do in one sentence, and must include why the hell you do what you do.
yeah, so this will also be launched through a webinar, so people will be able to get a taste.
So webinar will be somewhere else in your sales funnel, probably right there as well, yeah. Donna?
I've got 2 points. One of them is following on from Kate. The thing that struck me was when I was listening to you describe your business is I didn't know if it was for employed people or self-employed people. Originally, my first interpretation was business owners, but then when you said people who are in middle management or senior management want to take it, I was like, oh, maybe they're not actually business owners, they're actually employed people. I didn't get Jerry that at first. And I think that was a big clearing, because for me, I was instantly thinking, oh, who would I help? But I don't know as many employed people as I do self-employed people. So that was something that really pointed out to me that I thought is a similar thing, making sure really clear who your target market is, so I know who to look for you, because I did Jerry, and I suppose I don't know the allied health industry very well, so I actually don't know what a high-level management allied health role means. Is that a government job? Like, are you working for a doctor's office? Like, I don't know what that means, because that's not from the world I come from. The second point I wanted to say, which as you're just talking about the webinar, you still need to be super clear so people know why they're registering for your webinar. Otherwise, if it's similar, if you just wrote out what you said, come along to my webinar, learn this, it'd be a similar problem, because they're like, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to learn. But definitely go for the webinar, you'll be able to leverage yourself and talk to lots of people at the same time.
Sarah, Greg, and then Rick. I forgot.
It was more just following on from Pete's and Pete. I have to say, in terms, pretend like you're talking to people who don't know exactly like what you're talking about. Sometimes it's hard to say what you're talking about. I don't even know what I'm
Be clearer.
Because remember what it was like when you were learning it. Talk in kind of everyday terms to people like that, and then say the big words for the webinar and so other people do know. Yeah. So add those big words, but also describe what it means. So kind of even talk to someone who doesn't know about it and say, do you understand? So I can say, what do you understand? It's usually all the words that you don't know, but it's hard to remember what you used to know. Makes sense?
I want to go too, so I really don't even know what you do.
Okay, great.
Yes, I'll echo Pete's comments, they're bang on. But before I might comment, can I just ask another further question? Your $249 offering is a 5-week program. How many hours of time does that take of yours? 5 hours? So how many hours?
1 hour per week.
And how do you conduct that?
Via 5-hour conference.
For a phone conference? Okay.
How many people?
So it will be up to 10.
Okay. I don't know the allied health industry at all, or where your competitors sit, where you sit them, but that number intuitively sounds really light to me. Quite at the more budget spectrum. Am I possibly right?
Well, particularly for social welfare, because we're working within the social welfare sector,
Sure.
that's actually quite a competitive price. I remember when I used to go to trainings, I'd pay $40, $90 for a whole day training.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
So for an hour of my time, yeah.
So with these 10 people, you're making about 2,500.
Yeah.
This is per person.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. So I was wondering if that's obviously if you're talking to individuals, but as Dara alluded to, if you're possibly talking to allied health centres or healthcare, there might be more scope to maybe position yourself as that expert in that field that would actually help you elevate, be able to charge a premium by delivering massive value.
Yeah.
That was just the intuitive numbers that I felt. Well, you must do some extraordinary, I should say, leadership stuff. 240, that's a steal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is, that's going to be like the introductory.
Yeah.
Do you have your numbers around how many people do it?
Yeah, it will be capped at 10.
Right,
So
so
we
you
don't
don't want one person doing it, like, is there a minimum number to start
per
per group?
It will have to be at least 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Maybe just one corollary to all that though. I understand your intention behind maybe having the introductory value, but I'm a big fan of don't discount
Yeah.
the value.
Add
Because
value.
add massive value. And if you discount, I think it sends your market a really the wrong message. And I think it's a mug's game when you start competing on price. Position yourself as the expert you obviously are.
I'll say price is the price, is the price, is the
Yeah.
price.
Yeah.
Price is what you pay, value is what you get.
Totally add value. Rick was next.
I just think you should really assess who your actual target market is and not necessarily get it confused with who you're delivering it to. From what I see with this is that the individuals you're delivering it to may not really be the target market, it's really the businesses, it's the organisations.
So
that are
who's
running
paying?
it. Who's paying?
Who's paying?
That, if you target the businesses, if you target the organisations, you've got a larger budget to play with and a lot higher volume of potential people.
And what they're paying, because the pain behind these people is probably different to the pain behind the
It's-
paying client.
It sets a bit of a different business benchmark too, because most businesses are used to dealing with a different level, and so you'll find by nature you'll have to increase your price to give yourself credit.
So it's a different conversation.
Can you speak businesses?
Can you turn this off, Stuart, please? Yeah, I can. You can be here. Or is it this thing here? Is it this
It's
thing?
like a little thermostat.
Just keep it.
Oh, it's this thing.
There we go. Turn the off button.
Yeah. Sorry, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Donna, and then Justin.
The other thing I wanted to ask, and this is just more for me getting a better picture, is it easier for people to do 5 hours or half a day lump sum than taking an hour out of their week every week? I'm just curious as to whether it's easier for you to deliver it in one chunk, because then they walk away with it with almost more value. It feels more valuable because there's so much happening rather than lingering week to week when things happen. They might rearrange their diary, especially for your welfare. I'm assuming things pop up sometimes that you kind of account for, and then they might cancel on you. Whereas just giving them one big bang go, where they're just walking away going, oh my god, that was awesome. And for you personally, it's actually, you make more money because there's less effort for you just doing
Only
it
one
one go.
hit.
Yeah. I don't know if it works for that niche or not, but I'm just curious if it does. There's something to consider.
Or it could be an option, like
Or an option, yeah.
Day and then,
Or
right, yeah,
after, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No,
Just.
no, you go. That's all.
Oh, no,
It's my question. Really.
Donna's just ignoring something new. Donna, just can I ask for what reason you decided to do it over the phone?
One of the things was convenience
For you or for them?
for me.
Okay.
For me, in terms of my time
Yep.
and utilising my time properly. But also from week to week for them to be able to actually implement what they've learned. So for me, I guess I wanted to provide an opportunity for them to implement and to reflect their learnings. so many trainings you go to, that was fantastic, and then you never do anything again. And then having the opportunity to come together again and say, well, here I actually did use this technique, or I actually did see this, when working with my clients, and I agree or I don't agree, will bring value to the rest of the people in the group.
So I think that's really good, but I just pick up on Donna's theme that I reckon it packs a massive punch if you can do face-to-face training, half a day, invite them to a venue. The delivery impact is massive.
You can always follow up with another.
Yeah, you do follow up with phone call later.
I was going to say, do exactly that, do the half day or whatever, and then
And follow-up call.
And then follow up.
And then charge more.
Charge more for
So
the
charge them more
do
for
the
Facebook.
follow-up.
Yeah, I was actually going to say something very similar as well, that, with all the trainings that we've done with TCI, that we go in and they tell us all about it, and then we actually do the exercise, we implement exactly what we've just learnt. We do a quick exercise so it sticks better, and then we go on to the next piece, the next chunk of information, again we do another exercise. So is it something, Monica, that you maybe consider to do 2 half days over 2 weekends or something, or like 1 full day where you're charging $500 for the day? They get the booklet, they get a DVD of the exercises or something, that you record everything, and then you're actually sending them a DVD of everything. They get the booklet, they get to pick your brain. Because on the phone, people might be like asking questions, but if they see you, they get more value, and then you're there, you're your product, and then they can attack you with questions.
Alright, we've got 1 minute to go for Monica. What's the exact time now? What is it?
8:22.
Alright, we'll go to 8:30, and then we're going to have our informal and chats and all that sort of stuff. So we'll have a couple more questions, then I want to do a bit of a summary, because I like doing that at the end, so it brings it all together. So Donna, Lorna, and then Justin.
Sorry, I just get so excited as what this keeps
She just wants to build business.
The other thing that I know from my own experience, that people who generally work in the allied health industry, I don't know about management, will not probably learn as well over the phone as they would doing it face to face to you. Generally, and this is a generalisation, they're very kinesthetic people, very nurturing, very touchy-feely, one-on-one. Show me how to do it. Don't tell me how to do it, because I don't remember it, because that's just the way that they learn. And my only concern doing it over the phone is, no matter how good of a teacher you are, how well you explain it, they may not remember it, or when they go away to do it and implement your activities, they'll be like, I just wish you showed me how to do it, or, because they're very visual people, so that's my only concern. And I could be wrong, because you are talking about people in management, but I don't know, so that's just the other thing I was curious about.
Cool. Lorna.
I was going to say a similar thing. I used to spend every Monday on the phone hooking up with the team around Australia and New Zealand, and I used to put the phone on mute, boil the kettle, make up tea, go to the toilet, put the makeup on. People would be ironing up things, would be MSNing at each other, making faces at each other, not concentrating, getting distracted. So you need to be in front of people. Yeah, you as a business credibility, which is what Matt talked about, Justin's talked about as well.
And your positioning as
Yeah, and then you have to follow up phone call, but it's really easy on the phone to get very distracted with stuff.
Good point. Just
Don't think we're all personally attacking you either, mate. You just know our business and stuff. One thing I was talking about, devaluing your price, yes, don't do that, mate. Add value. Have you ever thought about, look, as I said, I'm not 100%, that's one good question. One good answer, just telling you that it's hard to understand what you actually do. But could you do something like where people can ring you after the course if they're having trouble understanding what you're talking about and stuff like that, and try to find the core difference in between what you do and your competitors do. Try to do it different, because people love that when, like with my business, I give my personal mobile out to customers and they go, what are you doing that for? I go, this mate, ring me. And it gives them at ease, it's different. And what I'm saying, maybe something you do is add value, is obviously give ongoing support, give something for free after it, where people go, well, I just haven't done this course and she's burnt me. She's actually ringing me up to ask, how are you going with dramas? Is there anything you'd like to know? Maybe give me a buzz if you've got a drama and we can sort it out very quickly. Something to do there.
anyone else? Sure.
I just think one thing that you really want to delve into is getting the reason what are they going to get, the people that you're working with? What's a number, like 1 or 2 or 3 things that they're going to get from working with you, and then being able to really explain that message really clearly. So yes, it's similar to the other message, but because everybody, I know you'll be dealing with people that know what you're talking about, but for everybody else, and probably still for them, we all want to know what we're going to get out of it. So what am I going to get from dealing with Justin? What am I going to get through doing this program? So really focus on what they're going to get, because everyone they want to know what's in it for them.
Yeah.
So really focus on what are they going to get from that, and then I think you'll be able to spread your message a bit
We're not
better.
ready going at that. We want to know what we're going to get. That's good.
One last comment or question. You're all in? That's it?
I'm done.
Having the courage to step up and sometimes, as human beings, we look at the critiques, and I guess we've played a bit of devil's advocate as to what can be, but hopefully you got some ideas.
Definitely more where this was, stemming to the
So, yeah. So, thank you.
Good on you, buddy.
So just bringing it all together for all of you guys, the message that will then translate within all of your businesses is the importance, obviously, of the sales funnel, to have that. Every single business needs to have it within that. Even Justin has it with his book now, and then they go and work with him and all that sort of stuff. To consider what are all your packages and how can you actually add value over discounting anything. So never, we have this tendency to worry about price, but if we're different and we are selling ourselves and people are buying us, which is what ultimately is the bottom, the bottom line. People buy us at the end of the day, so it doesn't matter. As I said to you, my quote at the start, people will travel any distance, pay any price to work and spend time with me. And I just keep repeating that to myself every single day. And then as I grow, my prices go up and I add more value, because guess what? I have more products. So I can go, I'll pick this and I'll give them this and I'll give them that, and just create the stacks of products. Having your why clear. So why are you in business, and who is that target market? Very important point we've made here is who is actually paying you, because if you're going corporate, it might be the boss and you're working with a team of managers or whatever it is. So appeal to their pain points, and perhaps it's on that website, the target market being the person who's going to invest in your program. Were you going to add something?
No.
Oh, I thought, sorry, I thought you were.
Okay, if you want that.
The little template to follow when you're doing your elevator speech is, do you know, blah, 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 what is the problem? And then, well, what I do is, and then you provide what the solution is. Just a very simple start and finish to a barbecue speech or elevator speech. Awesome addition here to our step-by-step instructions how to get our testimonials. And face-to-face, the power of face-to-face. Why are we here today? Because yes, we hang out on Facebook all the time, and it's nice to connect and build those relationships and all that sort of stuff. But when we come back in here every month after month, we actually become mates. Like Justin and I met at BNI. I no longer go to that chapter, but we connect and we do things and we socialise and we help each other with that sort of give us game philosophy, and we connect each other with people and continue those referrals. So these are actually your hottest referral possibility network, because you've actually met the people. They're going to like you, they're going to trust you, and therefore they will refer business to you, as long as you also invest in that relationship. So it's not up to us just to do this tonight and off we go. Catch up with people outside of this event and have coffee chats and get to know each other a lot better. Okay, so next month, guys, so that was my 2 cents right there and then. I want to give you some info about next month. Put the date of 14th of November in the diaries, and I will have you in a big room. And they've already triple checked that we're in there. We're going to aim to get 50 people there. So this is where I'm going to ask you to be my referral buddy or whatever to my friends, because I'm having a very inspirational lady by the name of Rosemary McCallum. Rosemary, I had to listen to her present at Women on the Go in front of about 300 people. And she said, it has an awesome story. If you ask me what she does, I have no idea, but she just inspired the hell out of me. She's written a book as well, And she actually wants to work with me next year. And like I was like looking at her as if, you know, like she was like, someone was truly inspired by. We happened to be at a seminar a week after I saw her speak. We're sitting next to each other. And so we made friends and we said, let's go to lunch. So when we did, she said, I want to hire you next year about the product development stuff. And I said, oh, well, cool. You know, and I said, you want to speak at my event? And I go, I'm going to give you double the time. So I'm going to have a talk to us for 40 minutes. And what I want to do for you for my 20 minutes, I actually want to really teach you how to set up 2014 the NAT goal setting way, because there's a specific way that I work, and everyone asks me how I do it, and they want these strategies around the planning and organisation, and you'll know what I mean, because it just works, and it always has. And so Rosemary's going to come, and we're going to have a theme where it's a Christmas breakup, because we won't do a December and January event. We're going to bring out our Santa hats. So let's just wear our Santa hats to make it more colourful and fun on the night. Is that cool with you? Yeah. So book yourself in as early as possible, because probably how many people do you reckon will fit in that room?
More than 50.
But if we're sitting,
More than 50.
You're
Correct.
cramming 80 or 90 if you want.
Huh?
Or if you're cramming 80 or 90 if you want.
I'll ask, I'll double check, so that way we'll set up the tickets to go up to 50.
Yeah,
And
there's an event this weekend, it's like 100 people.
Because one of the people who comes to this event actually went to Rosemary's last presentation. She does this, masterclass thing, which is super, apparently, cool.
Personal growth.
Hmm?
Personal growth.
It's personal growth, yeah, it's super the cool stuff. And the lady said she'll tell everyone at the event that Rosemary's speaking at our event, get them all across to here. So I just want to make it like a big bang. Let's finish the year off, and I'll give you some tools then for the next year to really, so you can actually implement them in December, so you get started fresh in January. And anything else you want to learn, why not post some topics on our pages, like what sort of stuff do you want to hear next year? You know, because I have so many hands up for speakers now. I was struggling, like, because I was overseas and I couldn't get, I couldn't get too organised for tonight's event, and obviously these guys came through for me. But next year it's almost like most of the year I've had hands up, but I want to know that, I want to bring you topics that you want to learn.